Chapter 979, Family Problems.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm doing it to the party cast. Oh no, I'm in the bathroom. You caught me. Oh, how embarrassing for me. It's me, the best guy ever. And this is Gibbontake.
I'd like to tender my resignation. I don't want to be in this crew anymore. Can I mutiny myself out of here?
I mean, I was on the poop deck. So what would you expect? Oh, welcome everyone. It's time for another one of those wonderful things we do where we talk about One Piece here on this show. This is chapter 979. What is it? Family Problems. Family Problems. But before we get to that, let's look at our cover page and see what's going on.
Yeah, so...
Like more Gang Beige things? Yeah,
apparently,
right, here we go.
Apparently Gang Beige still. My family. The Tontatta
This
tribe...
is an interesting development this week.
Yes,
At last.
Tontatta tribe stumbles upon a wrecked ship.
Mm-hmm.
It is the Tontatta tribe of Dressrosa, Straw Hat affiliated. And they see a broken down Whole Cake Island Big Mom ship floating around near the green bit, or whatever that was called.
Yep, that's it.
And there's Pound D Pussy and his corpse, and he's not alive, and he's definitely dead right there.
I'm sure that's true. Guys, why does Oda do this to us? We all know that he's going to be alive next chapter, and it's going to be a way epic wacky wahoo. Lol, I am actually alive. Let's just get this out of the way. No, it doesn't make any sense why Pound D Pussy would be alive after Oven straight up murdered him. Like, no, we didn't see the fucking blade come down and pierce his body, but why would Odin let him live? And how would he escape? He is not powerful. This is stupid. It is dumb, and there's no defending it. But other than that, whatever. It's not that big a deal. It's just kind of dumb.
Yeah, I mean...
Commit to killing characters, Oda. Stop.
Of
Stop
the characters that canonically died at Whole Cake, Pound was like one of the
only one. The only one.
Well, there's Pedro, right? We don't know.
You're right.
We haven't quite yet got the cover arc where Pedro's alive.
This throws the whole Pedro thing into question as well. If this man can survive, sure, there was more reason to think that Pedro is very likely dead. He literally exploded. There was an explosion. I'm just saying, if my boy Pound D is alive here, then it really does do some Pell shit.
The only reason he's alive is because he's not a major character, and this is just an arc about...
And it doesn't matter to the plot, one way or the other.
It doesn't matter, one way or the other, whether he's alive, because what he's going to do is he's going to reunite with his two daughters, and it's going to be like, things that were never resolved before he, quote-unquote, was killed, can now be resolved, and it's like, meeting his daughter... I don't know whether he even met them before.
Now that I remember back to, his final moment, if I remember correctly, I think he was, yelling to try to get Chiffon's attention, but he failed. He was not able to do it and, was struck down. But he did, help them get away by, I think, distracting Oven, briefly so that they could escape. But he had a heroic sacrifice death. I'm literally mad at Oda for, undercutting the heroic sacrifice thing, just like he did with Mr. 2. It's just the same thing again. This is one of the things I hate that Oda does, and he does it continuously. And a lot of writers do this, to be fair. They just pussy out when, they feel like, oh, it's been, a year or two, the chapters have passed. Nobody's gonna mind or care that we just let a character who should be dead just come back.
Yeah.
Even if Pound wasn't literally killed, he should be imprisoned or in jail in Whole Cake. I guess something happened, so he escaped somehow. I don't know how. I'm sure we'll get a little backstory.
The only thing I could think that could be interesting from this is because he's on a ship. I don't think he was murdered on a ship when he was sliced.
He was on the edge of an island, I believe.
So clearly something happened between then and now.
Right.
And we know already that there is a big gap of our knowledge as to how Jinbei got away, and all the events that transpired after Luffy got away is maybe the next few chapters, the cover arc could be Chiffon and Lola meeting their dad for the first time,
Sure, that's good.
And then, like,
Nothing
something
wrong with
about, it's like, where were you, Dad? And he says in a speech bubble, oh, well, Jinbei, and I helped Jinbei get out, or something.
Jinbei probably helped him. I mean, except his like, quote unquote, like, his murder moment was like way far away from Jinbei, and it was like way before. Like, Jinbei was still with the Straw Hats, I believe, on their ship when this was happening. Or maybe they were still.
Wait.
I would have to go check.
Wait. You know what could be?
Yeah.
Actually, no, this is impossible. Forget it. I was gonna say maybe Katakuri helped him escape. And Katakuri's on that.
Been like, he was like still on his back.
And Katakuri's
knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, he's not able to. But it would be pretty epic if Katakuri appeared in this. I
mean,
arc.
I
would like to see what he's doing.
Look, from a writing perspective, yes. Okay, of course, Oda can write the story such that that moment where it was implied that Odin is about to kill, Oven. I've been saying Odin, I think. I meant Oven, obviously. Where Oven is, like, about to strike down and murder Pound D. Pussy. Like, anything could have happened in that next moment that we literally don't see. Although, I kind of want to go back and see if they do that thing where there's like a splatter of blood, which implies something. I might go look at that depending on what happens next cover arc, and just do a little research in that. But what like anything could have happened, and Oven could like have survived that particular blow, and then maybe he's like captured, and then maybe Jinbei, as part of like helping the Fisherman Pirates escape, or the Sun Pirates, he like, just as part of that, he somehow helped Pound get away, or Katakuri showed back up and like freed him from jail because he's a good. Any of that could happen. What I specifically get annoyed by is when Oda does a moment where he is foreshadowing a character's death, like he went out of his way to do with Pound here, and have Oven like about to do the death blow and blah blah blah. All that stuff is like implied. When if he wanted to just have Oven like escape, he can just have Oven's story end like anyway, like he's reaching out to Chiffon.
Now you're mixing up Oven with Pound.
Am I?
You're calling Pound Oven.
Okay, my bad. Right. What I'm trying to say is that like with Pound here, or the father of Chiffon and Lola, anything could have happened at the end of that story where Oda could just show that like, and then Pound wasn't able to reach his daughter Chiffon. She sailed off, and we just don't know what happened to Pound. Like, we hope he got away, we just don't know. But he didn't do that. He chose to show a moment where it looked like he was going to be fucking murdered, and implications are drawn as a result of that. And I just feel it's Oda trying to have his cake and eat it too, and it's annoying.
It is a thing that consistently happens in One Piece. It's like, what is the most like hype thing that could happen, regardless of whether it's going to stick? It doesn't matter if it's like a serialized manga. People will be hyped for that moment, and then when it comes, it turns out that it wasn't actually like as hype as they thought. Then they won't be able to get mad in the past. They were already happy in the past. Right.
The hope is that people will just not remember and not care, even though it undercuts things that have happened. I mean, guys like you and me think back.
One like sort of thing like this that is not like a literal character survives even though we thought they were dead was. That I didn't really like still is the idea of Sabo as like a new Ace, because Ace died and now we suddenly know about Sabo.
Absolutely.
It's just like, come on. Like,
You're 100%
I
right.
like Sabo, kind of. He's pretty cool, but it's just sort of like, while I was reading all of that, it's like the whole thing with Ace and having no brother anymore is that Luffy was like distraught, is like, his brother's dead. That now there's no one. And then Jinbei said, remember your crew or whatever. And it was like, you're right, I have my crew. Right. But he had a brother as well. Another one. Well, actually, he thought he was dead at the time, so that doesn't...
The way that Oda wrote that, I totally see where you're coming from. The way that Oda wrote that, it does somewhat cover his bases, because he did think that he was dead, and blah, blah, blah. But when you spend just a few moments considering, like, the lore ramifications, like, let's not forget... Like, okay, why didn't Sabo, when he saw in the newspapers how his brother Ace was about to be executed, which is exactly how Luffy knew that he had to go save Ace? The answer to that question is because Oda wrote amnesia into Sabo's story, okay? Amnesia is always not a particularly impressive trope, but we can let it go. But it's moments like that are like kind of questionable storytelling. we don't know for sure, but they really just indicate the extreme likelihood that things like that weren't planned and do in fact undercut things.
I don't
a
really
bit
mind
in
the
retrospect.
unplannedness. It's more that it's like the role Ace.
It's the ramifications of things being unplanned. Exactly to your point.
It's the role Ace played in the story is just replaced with a new guy. It undermines Ace's
I mean,
death
you're right.
in a little way, because like.
I've heard people express that point. I actually think I'm less bothered by that kind of a thing because, it certainly is within Luffy's character to like just have not mentioned that he had a young brother or an older brother, I guess, adopted brother who died, because he hasn't done it for like anything else of his backstory, the whole story. So at least it's consistent. And I'm actually quite fond of the idea. It fits very well in my mind with the whole inherited will idea of like somebody carrying on like spiritually the idea of like the Fire Fist moniker, and so Sabo being
yeah, but all right. Yeah. The thing is, he was just inserted into the story at that point. Yeah. Things like Sabo having amnesia, I don't like. Yeah. Those aspects of it, like ways to explain what it is whatever. The fact that it is, I'm trying to think of a way to explain how this bothers me, because it's like. The inherited will stuff could have still happened. Luffy could have still tried to get the devil fruit because it's Ace's fruit, and he's like, no one else is getting this. But then, it will then be in Luffy's possession after Dressrosa, and he could choose to give it to someone who he thinks, like, is deserving of it. And it would be more of a, like, you deserve this thing.
Well, I remember back then us having conversations about who is going to get it, because it wasn't confirmed that Sabo was going to be the one at that point. Yeah. And I remember those. Like, could it be Frankie? Could it be Zoro? That feels a little weird, but maybe,
Yeah, well, I was thinking it wouldn't have been one of the Straw Hats, but it would definitely have been like like he could have kept it from a number of arcs. It's just like a treasure, like nobody is having this. Sure. But then, as a moment to like do the inherited will thing, somebody who he feels deserves it, or maybe he could give it to the Whitebeard pirates or something. Like, it's the inherited will just going to a character that is basically Ace, but again, who was like, by the way, this character who Luffy thought was dead is now alive. Is like, it undercuts the tragedy and like the trauma that Ace's death, brought upon Luffy. It's just sort of like you can make it fit, but the fact that it exists at all is what annoys me.
Well, I certainly see where you're coming from, and I think people can get the idea of what you're saying. It is not an unreasonable position. So, with any of these points you bring up, it seems like you and I lean towards different things that annoy us. Like, I get more annoyed when I see, like, basically, like, hacky storytelling. Things like amnesia and, like, the way that hockey has been retrofitted into the story. Like, those kind of things annoy me, because that's just the kind of person I am. And, other things annoy other people differently, as we've seen here. But,
like, Pound coming
everyone
back
can interpret for themselves.
It's like, it's inoffensive, Pound coming back right now. But, I don't know.
I consider it a minor slap in the face. Like, again, like, yes, people, be aware. I'm sure there are going to be people that say, because there always is, Nate, it was never confirmed that Pound was dead. Like, anything could have happened. He could have gotten away, as he's surrounded by the entire fucking Big Mom forces, who this man hasn't, like, he already betrayed Big Mom. They have no reason to capture him. The obvious thing to do is just fucking murder him, which is exactly what Oven tried to do. It's just annoying. It's just not great storytelling in my mind. It's like, it's a cheap, what it does is it reveals the cheapness of the series at times. And I would rather the series maintain a high pedigree and not stoop to like cheap tactics like that. Which when it does, I always complain about it because I care about One Piece and I think it is good and it's better than that kind of stuff. But it does do this pretty frequently, and it is annoying. So if you disagree and you just don't care about this, fair enough. But you're going to get more of that listening to this show from me.
Well,
that's how I feel.
There we go. That's the first cover page thing.
Yep.
Hopefully,
there you go. I will be interested to see.
Yeah, hopefully this is not like the big twist of this whole thing, because it's really Chiffon and Lola fucking around, and then what a twist! Pound was alive. Like that's not as cool as like Bartholomew like attacking one of Shanks' islands. Bartolomeo, I mean.
Right.
Like that's more of a cool like ending to one of this. Like if it's like it could be heartwarming, but like I don't really care about Pound or Lola or Chiffon.
Right. Me neither.
I only care about
We
Capone.
need what I would want. Yeah, I mean Capone is also he's kind of cool, but he's not that cool.
He's got a baby, and that's really
nice.
funny. The baby has a cigar.
I do like Pez, his baby Pez, which is sick. He's got 5 o'clock shadow already. I'm hoping that this will be something like Pound wakes up, and then I don't know, maybe this will happen. Like Pound wakes up, and then either he meets his daughters. I'm sure that'll be a cover page or two, and then maybe after that he'll either reveal some interesting piece of information about like the Big Mom pirates that potentially has lore implications, because that's kind of what we all want. I think at the end of this, we enjoy the story, but then you tie it back in. Just like you have all of Skypiea, it's super fun, but then at the end, holy shit, Gold Roger signed the Poneglyph. What the fuck does that mean? Boom. Main story tied in. It's good shit.
Yeah.
Would love something like that at the end here. I don't know. Maybe Katakuri will show up chasing Pound, and then they'll have to fight. Poundy Pussy versus Pounded Pussy. Katakuri, who's got butt fucked by Luffy in the boy pussy. I don't know. I don't even have a guess as to what is going to happen at the end of this, if anything. Right. But hopefully it'll be something good.
So actually on to the chapter now.
Right. Let's go.
So Orochi is partying. He's fine, and he's like, yeah, this is great. And he's let his guard down because he's been getting, as they say, reports from Kanjuro to be ahead of the Red Scabbers at every turn. And he thinks he has all the information, and that they have none of the information, that he's blown up the bridge, he ambushed their ships, and it's like, yeah.
All the good stuff that he thinks is going on, he's just stewing in the joy of knowing, haha, nothing could possibly go wrong.
But
Simply
of course,
epic,
they're already here, as they've got the armies, Kinemon with the east, and Denjiro with the west army going around the island. Law with his submarine, with a bunch of people, his crew. And we see a little map of the attack. There they go.
They're just all swirling around. Yeah, we've seen a lot of maps now, but we got it. They're circling around. I don't know exactly what Kinemon and Denjiro are going to do. I guess they're, like, how do they get in there? I don't know. I'm sure it will be revealed shortly what kind of clashes are going to happen here, so.
Yeah,
maybe
so,
next chapter. I don't know.
So, Kanjuro, here's the interesting thing. The reason he hasn't been able to get word to Orochi about the fact that all of these armies are here is because he's never been to Onigashima before, and he's lost, which is strange, because you'd think you could fly like right in the front door or something.
Yes, you would. For what reason does he need to... I mean, I guess he is a Red Scabbard, and maybe only Orochi knows that he's a... Okay, but here's my first question. Orochi has been receiving reports from Kanjuro, and okay, maybe what's going on is, like, the last message that he sent was, like, I don't know, the last night or something, being like, hey, just so you know, everything's going according to plan, the bridges have been blown up, we've cucked them, blah, 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 all this is happening, we're winning. I'm wondering, however, why Kanjuro hasn't taken a moment to just communicate via bird, which clearly is a very well-functioning delivery system to get these messages to Orochi. Maybe because he's in Onigashima, he can't get him a message in that way?
All right, I don't know. These
confused.
birds that they're shown, like, at the beginning, they look like real birds, but I feel like...
I think they're his drawings, his, like, real kind of drawing.
So, like, if you could draw a bird and draw, like, a note, then there's nothing stopping him from having done it already.
I'm just going to assume, because this seems like a reasonable thing to have charity on, that, like, whatever, maybe Orochi received those letters, like, before he came to Onigashima when he was still on land, which I think he just did, like, a couple hours before, or, like, the day before or something. I would have to check the timeline. And so maybe he got all his messages then, the plan was going well. He came to Onigashima, and even if our boy Kinemon was to send a messenger bird, he literally, as we're seeing here, he doesn't know the layout. And, like, the scouts would shoot it down, or he literally wouldn't know where to send it so that it could be received, or something like that.
Yeah, because he's been sending them to the Flower Capital, not here. Yeah, okay.
That's my guess. Yeah. It doesn't seem like a stretch to me to assume something like that, since he went out of his way to show that, like, he's so confused and doesn't know what's going on.
Well,
and the guards. We see the Kanjuro had to beat up some of the beast pirates because they think he's an enemy still, so...
Yeah. Okay.
Although the other thing is, Kanjuro is also kind of invading Onigashima in his own way right now. You'd think that, like, reports of him invading would get down. I guess he also beat the guards so fast that no message could get out. God, these beast pirates are so awful at looking for, you know, invasion or warning signs from any direction. They're the definition of like, underprepared and have fucking hubris up the ass, which just doesn't speak very well to their management organization, I guess. But hey, it is what it is. I guess they're not used to being invaded because they're a fucking Yonko crew, and not many people do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Hey, quick! By the way, I just wanted to say, quick shout out to the fan scans that we're using, the better ones. That is the Fuck Reddit Mods scans, my personal favorite scanlation group, ever since the Poddy scans tragically ended their run. Good work, guys. Fuck the Reddit Mods. Based. That's it.
Wait, which one are you on? I'm on.
I'm like the last one that I posted to you in the chat. Just as like a black first screen.
Oh, where does it say "fuck Reddit"?
The very first page. It just says high quality fan scan OP979. Fuck Reddit mod scans.
Oh, I didn't know that's. I didn't know that's what that acronym meant.
I'm assuming. I don't know. I thoroughly support the idea though. In any case, we see our boy Momonosuke eyeing a dagger there because he's bound and gagged now.
So we were thinking of like, you know, Momonosuke having to fight, you know, free himself so as to not like ruin the raid for everyone else. So he's going to deal with it. He's got a dagger. He's thinking about it. Can he do it? I don't know. I feel like Kanjuro is probably too strong, even when surprised.
He's a strong guy.
To fail and something like that.
You know, since Oda has created it this way so that like it's not that it would be like Momonosuke versus like all the beast pirates and Kanjuro. It's that Momonosuke, you know, is just with Kanjuro and only Kanjuro. They're in this situation where they're isolated, basically. I would not find it, like, a crazy thing that Momonosuke could get away from just one guy, Kanjuro, given, like, an opportunity to do so, and maybe, like, some sort of
I suppose he could he could definitely get away. Like, if he stabs Kanjuro in the leg or something, it's like, what the fuck?
Oh, you know,
and then
that's true.
Then he gets away.
I was thinking that it might even be more likely that he simply uses that knife. At first I thought he might kill him or something. He might just use that just to cut his own ropes so that he can fly away, which he can do as a dragon if he, you know, finds the chutzpah within himself.
Yeah,
you know,
he could right now, he could turn into a dragon and slip out of those ropes.
You know, that is true. And obviously we've seen that, like, he doesn't have much control over his you know, super artificial devil fruit from Vegapunk or whatever. But, like, it would be kind of a cool, like, arc culmination of, like, this be the time where he, like, does finally get some control, and that's how he escapes from, you know, Kanjuro. That would be a nice little capstone to his little development arc over this, I don't know, arc or whatever. I guess we'll see. They're certainly implying he's going to do something, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Go, Momonosuke, go.
So the Beast Pirates are still partying, and everything's really cool.
Yep.
Then we switch back over to the Straw Hats. Everyone has run ahead of them, and now the Straw Hats are gonna get ready to go their own way. I don't know which way they're going, but they've got Frankie's a black Rhino motorbike, which looks really cool.
Oh yes, looks good. Looks like it's been upgraded, or it just says it's been upgraded. And Chopper's Brachio Tank number 5. Pretty cool, guys. These mean nothing to me. I could not care less that this is part of it. I would rather they fight without them because these things have no narrative weight whatsoever. Cool. I mean, I don't care.
I appreciate that they get used at all because they're like a new thing for the Sunny, and like we got numbers 1 to 5, and we've seen the submarine a bunch. And I think a little waver thing, I can't remember. Like Nami's waver was like turned into a boat, or a mini Mary. That was one.
The mini Mary is a different one, I think, from the waver.
But these two land ones, I don't think we've really seen much of at all.
Yeah, you're right. And I think the only time we saw these was during the raid on Fishman Island against fucking Hody Jones's crew. So it sure makes sense for them to come out now. So that's fine. It certainly doesn't not make sense or anything. I just I need to have a reason to care. I would rather Chopper just fights as a fucking devil fruit using man and uses fucking monster point and engages in shonen battle
Chopper
stuff
will never have another
the way I
battle
want him
until
to.
the end of One Piece. That's my guess.
Zoan Bros. What is it? Fucking Rumble Ball Bros. This was supposed to be our time. This was supposed to be our chance.
Yeah, it's really
not
looking
happening.
like in the Beast Pirates Zone arc, the Chopper is going to do absolutely nothing, just like before.
To be fair, I would still say that, like, if Oda was a good boy and he was planning to do that, he would have already put in some hints here and there. But it's, like, sometimes all the important stuff happens at the very end of an arc. Sometimes that's true. It's still possible that we get down and we're doing, like, a real war type thing, and, oh my god, this is way sloppier and more fucked up war than we ever thought possible. And Chopper, like, his tank's destroyed, he has to go hand to hand. Time to activate, Rumble Ball. And then fucking Kaido's like, what? There is a level beyond Awakening that I can access with my fucking Devil Fruit? And then he eats some Rumble Balls, and he goes literal Dragon God mode. And we're all like, whoa, Rumble Balls were totally plot relevant. Thank God Oda remembered that those exist.
That would be...
Or maybe not.
Yeah, it's a strange thing, because, like, if that's what Chopper's influence is, it would just be like, oh, fuck you, Chopper, you ruined everything, you made Kaido even stronger.
No, that would be so good. If Chopper just had any, like, importance in the story at all, I wouldn't mind if he fucked everything up. It would just be great.
Well,
I wouldn't blame him for not considering.
I mean,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying, but I think if it was purely a negative impact, it would just be kind of a shame. I think what would be cool if
to feel something
is if
even
the Rumble
negative
Balls
is better than to feel nothing.
Is if the Rumble Balls get like used by the Beast Pirates or Kaido or something, and then Chopper's the one who knows how that works, so he can counteract, like he can fuck them up using counter medicine or whatever. So that under the effects of the Rumble Balls,
like
he can do something to them with his know-how. He can gain an advantage despite there being like an overwhelming advantage that the Beast Pirates have gained. Like he could turn it around, and then it would be really cool. Then Chopper would be literally, his medical knowledge would be more than just saving lives. It would be like how to kill an enemy.
Which would be cool. Or, I don't know, here's just another possible idea. I mean, maybe Orochi, I guess Orochi, but Kaido really. Like, these guys love, like, weapons of war. Like, they're like the main crew that, like, collects, weapons and all kinds of crazy fucking toxic blast nukes and stuff. If they find out that the Rumble Balls exist, they're a Zoan crew. What could possibly be, like, a better weapon of war than, like, what's basically like a steroid that gives all your, weird smile powers and Zoan powers, like, tons of extra magic stuff you can do with them, and not to mention, like, monster point for all of them, which maybe they all have Awakening, I don't know. But Chopper can, like, do that artificially with fucking, with the Rumble Balls. So maybe Kaido would be like, I want that technology. Chopper, join my crew. It'll be a Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker moment. Join me, Chopper.
Yeah, I really would like
the ultimate Zoan boy.
All of like the Straw Hats. No, like, not that they don't care about Chopper, but like in the narrative of One Piece, Chopper is useless. He's just a little baby. He's just a little useless little guy. And then Kaido, one of the 4 emperors, is like, you are the most important person in the world right now. That would be cool. I would like to see Kaido showing a big interest in Chopper, and Chopper being important for an entire chapter, maybe.
That would, oh my god, that would be great. I would want that to happen. And yes, I remember that, like, Chopper saved Luffy's life from the fucking drug or the poison that Queen infected them, but who fucking cares? We all know that was just written so Chopper could fix it in, like, one panel off screen or whatever. Yeah, I mean, remember in Big Mom Island stuff when, like, Brook just got his little spotlight, like, calling, Big Mom young lady, literally fucking Samurai Sasuke dashing past her and cucking her with Zeus. That was, like, the greatest thing that ever happened. Calling her the high point of Brook.
Calling her a young lady because he's way older than she is.
Yeah, it's fucking sick. He's a fucking 80-year-old man, and he's literally moonwalking past her and fucking her up, looking at her panties. Incredible. It was a little bit kind of like, that moment where he dashes under her and presumably does see her fat-ass panties, maybe, as he cuts Zeus and literally fucks her up. It's a little bit like that end of Naruto, when Naruto did that epic harem jutsu against
You keep bringing
the
that up.
lady
It's
girl.
like your favorite thing in the world.
I know, it literally is, because I had such low expectations, but it delivered so well on this long-running joke that I did not think would have any significance. It really is like one of my favorite things that's ever happened in a manga, and a lot of it is because I had very low expectations. It made it even better because they actually did that. It's just a little bit like that with Brook, and I would love it if Chopper got something, and then he can literally retire after that.
You hear that, Oda? Lower the expectations and then do something cool. Just keep lowering them.
But the problem is, Chopper expectations are already rock bottom. They cannot go any lower. So, you have to do something cool eventually in order to make it all worth it, or else it just sucks.
Here's like a pointless like speculation thing. What if Chopper's Rumble Bulls give the Straw Hat Pirates leverage in like a Kaido alliance? Or something.
Sure.
Like,
that sounds cool.
Like like if they don't have the power to win, they can maybe like call a truce and have like a Big Mom, Straw Hat, Kaido like 3-way alliance, and then it's like what? And then Blackbeard.
Well,
like
practically speaking, the only thing that doesn't really jive with that is like, okay, is it really something that we can condone, literally passing on more weapons of war to a like genocidal crew that has been like, we can't negotiate with these guys. If it was somebody else who was more peaceful, it could be done. But in this case, I don't know. I don't know about that. Yeah, maybe some other arrangement could be reached.
Something. Orochi maybe would have to be destroyed, and Kaido would be like, yeah, I never liked him anyway, lol.
There's been a couple of little moments that are like, okay, Kaido's a bad guy, but is he like worse than Crocodile, who we have teamed up with in the past? Not really. Maybe a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. He
just wants to have a tussle, a fun little fight with someone.
I mean, yeah. But when you do that and you like kill lots of people, which I mean, I don't know if Kaido's death toll is even higher than Crocodile's, who probably killed like hundreds of thousands of people.
He's undoubtedly is higher than Crocodile's. Like,
you think so?
How many years has he been in the Yonko pirate world business? And he was part of the Rocks pirates as well.
Well, I mean, hey, let's not jump to assumptions here. We don't really know how many people he's killed. Although he was doing that like human testing with Caesar Clown as part of that. Oh no, that was actually more of a Caesar initiative for Big Mom, wasn't it? That wasn't a Kaido thing. You know, like the human experiments to make the kids gigantic or whatever. That was for Big Mom specifically, as a separate thing. So Kaido, you're free on that one. But the whole like weapons, you know, like the what was that gas called that turns everybody to stone or whatever?
Big slime.
Big slime. That was all.
Smiley. Slimero.
Smile, slime, whatever the fuck it was. Yeah, that stuff. That's no good. That's no good.
You know, it's really funny now that I think about it that like one of the biggest like, oh my god, how horrible, is that Kaido is making people laugh, and they don't want to laugh, they want to cry, but they can't.
Well,
it's not literally like tied to death. It is tied to slavery of the Tontara with all the factory stuff. Yeah. But the one of the end victim things is that people are laughing.
See, that's why obviously what Kaido's doing is real bad, and I know this is a series that skews towards the silliness as opposed to like the horrors of war and whatnot. But that's why I kind of think legitimately maybe somebody like Crocodile really does have a higher body count, because in Alabasta it was like 500,000 versus 500,000 people in a war. Like that's going to be a lot of dead people when they are fighting each other. I mean, the war was pretty short; it was like half a day or something. But still, that's a lot of dead people, even in just one moment. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so we got that tanks and stuff. Time to progress with our new upgraded machines. How fun?
Luffy is. They said, "Where's Luffy gone?" Luffy ran ahead because Captain Kidd, is that his name?
He's trying to tell Kidd the plan. Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna go tell Kid the plan. Obviously, he's not going to do it quietly. All Straw Hats know this. Jinbei has a sweat droplet because he's like, oh, these guys are silly. And then Zoro said, Luffy's going to cause an uproar. I better go after him, and then he's going to get lost. Very, we all see this coming.
Classic trope. Yeah.
But it's great. It's still great every time. And Jinbei's learning about it for the first time. I like Jinbei. This one moment here solved everything.
Yeah, all concerns are gone. It's fine. It's fine. Just keep doing good stuff,
I like this
Oda.
moment later where it's like Jinbei is like, yes, I'm an adult, and Robin's like, ooh, you're an adult. That's nice. I like that. I like that you're not really crazy and screamy like the others.
I mean, that is his character. You know, he's been a pirate for a long time. He's been a Shichibukai, so he has seen some shit more so than most of the people on this crew. So yeah, that's fair enough. Whatever, we get a gag. Sanji wants to jump in the tank and cuddle with the girls, but Usopp's pouting, haha, there's no room for him. Lol, okay, epic, well done. Frankie makes a joke, hey Robin, want to ride on the back? Lol, Brooke gets on instead, haha, I didn't want a boy, I wanted a girl. They drive away, okay, epic, sick.
Yeah.
Epic.
Really the only interesting thing about this that is new is like Jinbei's being able to talk to Robin. I think hopefully this means that Robin will talk more in general because he's more her speed.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's true. They have a more similar vibe. I mean, first of all, what's important about this is how hot Robin looks in this panel.
How hot Jinbei looks. I mean, look at that leather.
Jinbei's looking good. I appreciate that. Ooh, Robin's got little devil horns. Nice. This whole crew, very sexy ladies. It's like when you've got like goofy looking, I don't know, like the Pokemon, or like the fucking, what are they called? In Pokemon, the like rival group that you're fighting against, the guys always look like silly, but the girls are always way hot, and it's great. And they're usually the hottest girls because they're bad girls. And Robin's being a bad girl. I'm into that. I'm way into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you said, this is where they're having their adult talk. Oh, we'll get dusty if we ride, so let's just walk, Jinbei. We'll take our time and blah, blah,
interesting little bit here. At the bottom of this panel, there's a shifting thing in the foreground in the bushes.
There sure is. Do not know who that is. Do not know what's implied by that. I would say if I had to guess, it would.
What's implied is a couple of things. Either a generic beast pirate saw them, which is probably not what it is, or it is a character who has either snuck along with the ships and is doing something sneaky and maybe following Jinbei and Robin, or it is someone who's already on the island, and it could be like Kaido's son or something.
Oh my god, Kaido's son would be the best guess that I was thinking who it could be, and that is a man whose whereabouts are very much unaccounted for and seem mysterious. So maybe he'll literally see Jinbei and Robin be, please be my sexy new mom and dad. I hate my dad. He doesn't even game hardcore.
Yeah,
I can tell you two are gamers, you know?
Like Jinbei would give him fatherly advice, and he'd be like, oh, geez, I never thought about it like that. Thanks, Dad.
By the way, that would be funny. I'd like to point out for the record, Oda, years and years ago, established that in the pattern and the way that he does, every member of the Straw Hat crew has a familial role. And the mother was Robin. Robin is the mother. Nami was like the only daughter. I think Zoro's the eldest son, etc., etc. And Frankie was the father. Do not cuck my boy Frankie as the father figure of the Straw Hats, Jinbei. You are the gay uncle. That is your role. That is your job.
Frankie is the grandfather, if anything. I think...
Oh my god, no. You're propagandizing, you're giving him...
Wait.
No, you can't do that.
That's not better.
Oda confirmed. What?
No, like, the grandfather's not better than father. I'm saying, like, Frankie is still definitely the father. You could see Frankie at the barbecue with the kiss the cook thing, and he's like, hey, kid.
Agreed.
Hey, Sonny.
He's a silly dad.
You know, he's a silly dad. He plays the guitar, and he's, like, kind of cringe, but kind of based at the same time. Frankie is just sort of you know, the older relative that you don't really talk to, but he has wise things occasionally. Like, he'll tell you something, and you'll be like, But you never really, like, speak to him.
I'm not gonna lie. Oda. I need you to stop putting Robin and Jinbei together so much. The shippers are gonna go to work, and I can't stand for it. I can't allow this to happen. Okay, and I said this in the podcast chat. I'm just saying, Oda, if this motherfucker Oda does anything to imply actual romance going on between Robin and Jinbei in any significant way, when he clearly established in Word of God text that they cannot have romance, they are in love with adventure, I will flip my fucking shit if that happens. Now, I'm not saying it has. I'm just saying if it does happen, then I will flip my shit.
I have no thinking that this will happen. I really honestly think that it's just Jinbei, as a person who is not as frantic as the rest of the crew, is one of the only people that is on Robin's speed, and so she can talk more, and therefore he can draw Robin more, like this. Like, I don't think it's like building to a specific romance. I think it's just like a good excuse to have Robin be in more panels.
More Robin, but at what cost? At the cost of being continually shipped with Jinbei for all time. Please, God, why did you do this to me? Why did this have to be how it is? Okay, I will endure. I will bear this cross, and we'll see. And you know what, Oda? I'll just say, let's say that we get to the end of One Piece, and even if Oda does the kind of crazy idea of literally having them, like, get married later, I'm just saying, if it's at the end after, like, the epilogue, that's fine. That's not what would make me annoyed. It would just be here and now. If such a thing were to happen.
Yeah,
but okay,
I mean, there hasn't been anything like that in really any of the crews aside from the
As always,
Luffy
it's the
and
fans.
Hancock thing.
It's the Jinbei fans. It's always been them. They're the ones who need to be stopped, who have to be crushed utterly, and that's my quest here to do it. All right. Anyway.
Yeah. So
there's Kaido.
Let's say hello. Let's go to Kaido. We see Kaido and I forget their name.
I don't remember anyone's name except for who's who.
Not their specific names, but like the group, the Flying Six.
Oh, the Flying Six. Yeah, that's the one.
He's talking to him, saying, "Sorry, guys. I wanted you to meet Lin, but she's taken a while.
She's still changing.
That's why
she's got a lot of body mass to cover with cloth. That's like a 24-hour operation to change clothes for her. So yeah, maybe next after a time skip, maybe we'll see her.
Yeah. So basically, it's just a lot of cool panels I'm seeing here.
Yeah,
they're interacting. The girl who says things without speaking is funny.
Uruti, I think her name's Uruti, if I remember. Yeah.
Turns out King was the one
know.
who ordered them all here, or like called them here, but he said it was Kaido, so that they would listen because they don't like him. They think he's a piece of shit.
That was an absolute king move, King. Absolute king right here. It's fucking based.
Yeah.
You know what they say? They say simping is king shit, so I'm sure that King is the #1 simp for Kaido.
I mean, he's got the get-up for it, hasn't he?
Oh my god, he's a gimp and a simp, and he's killing the game. Oh my god, Gib, do you see it? Do you see what that is on King's hip? That tells all the tales of what may happen with this
Is that
man.
a sword?
Could it be a sword? Oh my god. We've got a new entry into the Zoro Bowl. I guess at this point it's the Zoro Bowl. Who's gonna win the Zoro Bowl and be the swordsman that Zoro fights? King has been entered into the running now. Although, of course, I'll just say for the record, it would be a little weird for, let's just say Zoro fights and defeats King. That would sure make me think like, last arc, Luffy barely defeated the second most powerful person on the Big Mom Pirates after like an incredible struggle. If Zoro were to do that too easily, that sure would be confusing to me as for like power scaling things. But I was talking to some people in the Discord about this. Like, Luffy has clearly powered up significantly during and since the end of the fight against Katakuri, so even if, theoretically, Zoro gets his one-on-one with King and defeats him, I would still be like, okay. I mean, I'm sure Luffy, in that case, would be fighting Kaido primarily, which I'm sure he will do, for a bit.
It's always been...
So,
It's always been a bit, questionable, like, how much less strong Zoro is to Luffy. Like, I feel like because of their different styles of fighting, it's hard to tell, and the opponents they have. So I wouldn't put it past Oda for that to be like, for King to be like within Zoro's like level, that he could like eventually somehow like miraculously win by a small margin.
We have not had. Let's just reflect. I mean, God knows, if we got a real, down and dirty, gritty, challenging fucking Zoro fight that we have all been dying for since the time skip. We have all been begging since Thriller Bark. Zoro has never been pushed, like, ever in a fight. If what it takes is for it to be the second in command of Kaido, to Zoro to actually be forced to try and put in some fucking effort, God knows I'll take it.
Yeah.
I will not object if that's what it takes. Fuck it. Let it happen, Oda.
More than
please,
more than Who's Who, I think. Because Who's Who, I feel like one of the samurai could take on him. Like Kinemon or Denjiro or something. And then King would be... Say, Zoro should probably have the biggest sword fight of them all because he's a Straw Hat.
Indeed. I would hope so. I would hope so. I don't really care. Like, all the samurai, I'm not invested in their power levels, like, at all. So I really don't care who they fight. And although Ashura Doji did fuck Jack, so that was one interesting moment. But he seems to be implied to, like, be the strongest of the Red Scabbards anyway. Probably the strongest samurai, period. Since he was, like, the leader of, like, the bandits and all that stuff.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like...
You don't think so?
Well, Kinemon,
who would you guess?
and Ashura Doji had, like, a fight, and they were sort of evenly matched. So I feel like there's no clear, like, scale of, like, or like, tier of who's the top samurai. The only one at the moment is, like, probably Kinemon because he's quote-unquote leader. But even then,
I mean,
it's like the power levels of everyone is like, they could be basically equal.
You know, they probably are basically equal, but if I had to put money down on who's the strongest, I personally would bet that it's Ashura Doji. But you know, as you said, who knows? Who knows?
Well, I think you're basing that off of the fact that he cut Jack, and Jack was confused and like, what?
Well, not only that.
And at the time, it was like, is this Jack being shit, or is this Ashura Doji being super strong?
We shouldn't forget, that was one cut. Like, he did not defeat Jack.
Yeah.
He got a you know, that's true.
So it's like, it's not like Jack is not literally weaker than Ashura Doji, but, you know...
Well, I mean, maybe he is, but we don't, you know, unconfirmed, kind of. Actually, because it does seem to be the MO of the Beast Pirates in general, as we saw with Kaido v. Luffy and stuff, to just get hit 1,000,000 times, not care, and then just win anyway. That seems to be the thing they like to do, which is a very Zoan way to fight, so, you know, it makes sense. But there's another reason why I think Ashura Doji could have been, maybe he was the strongest, and it's just that he was like the like chieftain, aka clearly implied to be the strongest, leader of like that bandit gang, and like Odin was challenged when fighting against Ashura Doji and his boys. He was hurt. So, like, even though Odin was clearly the strongest samurai that like, we've ever seen, except for maybe Ryuma, I guess, but whatever.
Well, we
he's
haven't
dead.
seen
Who fucking
him.
cares? Right, we saw his zombie, whatever, it doesn't matter. I don't know. Like, that just makes me feel like he certainly is set up to be a very strong boy, so this feeds into my power level calculations to a degree. But again, we will find out. It probably won't even be much of a plot element, but... Would be cool. Would be cool. I really like Ashura Doji. I like what's been done with him as like a bandit leader who like became a retainer, but he's always had like the biggest chip on his shoulder out of any of them, and you know, got that legendary cucking Jack moment despite looking like a fat sack of shit. I'm a big fan of his. Of all the samurai, he's definitely my favorite, even over Kinemon, and Kinemon's got plot armor anyway. So
Kawamatsu, before he had his little flashback, I feel was probably my favorite, just design wise. But
he's a good boy.
I remember the flashback being kind of like, please cry about this.
You mean the one where he was like strung up with the other guys, Inugarashi and Nekomamushi, and because he had like his mom died and he's like a fish man,
the other one, the one that happened before that about him and the fox.
Oh, right, where he played the Ginmaru, the whatever it is. Yeah, right. Yeah, geez, kind of forgot about that element.
Yeah, it wasn't that memorable, and it was also like, please cry. It's so sad. You love Kawamatsu, and I'm like, I don't know if I do.
Yeah, especially because we'd like just met him and stuff.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't know. All I know is that I love seeing King because he's really cool, and I want to see him do a cool fight. And yes, I am disappointed that he's just another Zoan user with a pterodactyl fruit. But hopefully Oda will do cool stuff with it anyway.
Oh,
Haki exists.
Well, now he's got a sword,
now,
so he's like he can hold the pterodactyl. He can sword in his pterodactyl
in his
talons
weird mouth.
and fly slice him.
Maybe he'll do a thing because a pterodactyl is like a wyvern, and its arms are its wings. So he could have double set of wings, both on his like natural big black angel wings and his arm pterodactyl wings for like Crobats. He'd be literally Crobat in One Piece. Sick, fucking based.
There's also
that's it. I love Crobat.
The thing to remember is that he's implied to be a strange race that is there's only like one of ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the only one that Big Mom had ever seen.
He's like, join my family. And he's like,
it's interesting because like winged humans are a thing that we've already known to exist in the Skypians, but none of them have wings like, they're all very small, like vestigial wings, whereas this guy's are like, you know, literally real. We've never seen him fly with them. We saw him fly as a pterodactyl, so will that be plot relevant? Mostly, I think there will be a big moment. Maybe even, well, okay, I don't want to get carried away here, but I could certainly see some sort of really cool fucking katakuri reveal where we see his face for the first time, and it reveals something very interesting about his race or his character design. Who knows? I guess we'll see. All right, anyway, so we will see more of that as time goes on. King summoned everybody. He summoned the Flying Six boys, but yeah.
He summoned the Flying Six because there was a problem. There were multiple translations. The one I'm reading says, I was the first to hear that your problem just woke up, as speaking to Kaido. And he thinks, we might need the Flying Six to deal with it. And then Kaido's like, you're right. So, I don't know whether this problem he refers to is Kaido's son, or if it's something else entirely.
Right, because the Kaido's son is kind of the big question mark, so it's probably relevant to that, but we can't say for sure.
They say later, he says, like, Baofan, like this little flying squirrel person, says all the announcements of what's going to happen. So there's going to be, they're going to do the party, they're going to have a toast with the All-Stars, Lord Orochi is going to have a grand proclamation, and Big Mom and Kaido are going to say, a powerful pirate alliance, and then finally, Master Kaido will give a very important announcement, and it's a very secret announcement, and it's like, ooh, what's this secret announcement? And then Kaido says, I want you to get my son back, and then they say, oh, does this mean the important announcement has something to do with young Master Yamato, your son?
Yamato.
And he says yes, so it has to do with him, but I don't know if, like, there is the same guy, like something woke up. Is it his son, or is it something else?
Yeah, again, we just don't know. I would guess it's relevant. We just don't know for sure, so we'll just have to wait and see. But so they sure are building a lot of mystery up around young Master Yamato. I'm curious who his mom is. We don't know anything about him. Was not at the party, and he seems to be something of a recluse. Hence our like gamer guess as to what he could be. But we really don't know. Could be anything. And geez Louise, I want to see him. And that would be way cool if it's something good.
I feel like if it's something woke up, like, and they need a lot of, the Flying Six to deal with it, maybe. It could be like an experiment to make like the ultimate Smile Devil Fruit beast, like the ultimate beast, which could be a giant something or other. And that's like
certainly could be.
Like hiding underneath the castle or whatever, and that's like a cool thing. And his son Yamato is somehow related to it. I can't really put there's no pieces to put together yet, but like I don't know. I expect there's going to be something more than just his son involved with this. There's got to be some cool big thing.
It's certainly like he has an important announcement that is a separate thing from the alliance of him and Big Mom. So if that takes like second billing behind, fucking, hey, here's just a guess. Here is a guess. This seems to involve young Master Yamato. Okay, interesting. What is the first and like most notable personality trait of Kaido? It's that Kaido wants to die. He wants to commit suicide and die. Why would a son be relevant to a man who wants to commit suicide? Maybe there's an idea that it's time for him to literally kill himself. He's found a way, some like cool battle or something, and he's going to pass on the Beast Pirates to his son that's going to be the alliance of. Now, I have no idea if that's true, but would certainly be a cool way to capitalize on the whole suicide thing and be relevant to like his son if he wants him to take up the reins or something. So I don't know. I don't know, but
it would
could be
definitely
cool.
also make it easier for them to kill Kaido if they were going to try and do that.
I guess so. Oh, geez. You know, I mean, I didn't really think of this before, and I wouldn't be too shocked. I mean, these sorts of things happen in Shonen all the time, just not really much in One Piece, as we saw earlier this chapter. But maybe this arc will legitimately end with Kaido literally dying, which kind of would tie into what he's wanted all along, and would make it, you know, like it wouldn't be like as like morally like awful feeling to kill their enemies or something in kind of that sort of situation. I don't know. I'm very skeptical if that would happen. It doesn't seem very likely to me, but I don't know. Just floating the possibility for your consideration, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's interesting because like the idea of like a suicide like character trait is something a little more adult and maybe like not appropriate for a One Piece audience, but it's already been part of One Piece in the past. Although it hasn't really come up yet in Wano at all.
Has it? I'm just curious. What are you remembering? I don't remember offhand.
No, I'm thinking like the first time we see Kaido is when he's trying to kill himself.
Oh.
But I don't think in
I got you.
Wano we've gotten any like reminder of that. So
right,
if,
I don't think so.
If the announcement is about that, that would be like interesting because suicide is a kind of a heavy topic. But I don't know. Like, could Oda even get away with doing that?
Suicide. I think he could. I mean, there have been very serious topics in One Piece previously. I mean, I don't know. We saw Ace straight up murdered on screen. You know, that did happen. Same thing with Whitebeard. So characters certainly die. Suicide is a different flavor. No doubt about it. And I don't think... I mean, certainly Oda might be concerned of, like, making light of suicide. But as the character of Kaido, as, like, a big, powerful, like, one of the strongest and most influential people in the world, just, like, bored with life and wanting to die because maybe he's, like, been everywhere, done everything, no one can, like, defeat him, and it's, like, tiring for him or something. Like, for a person like that at the top to, like, say, like, I'm going to die and let my son take over... I mean, I absolutely agree it's mature, but I think it could be done with finesse in a way that's I don't know, pretty sensitive and also interesting.
I'm thinking that as well. Like, but it's just sort of like, I guess you couldn't get away with it in a Western comic, but you could easily do that in a manga made in Japan, where they don't care so much about things like that.
Yeah, they really don't care. They're willing to do way more crazy shit, both in terms of like sexuality. They're a little bit more, I think, like uptight about things like blood and stuff than like the West typically is. But I
they have
like
loads of blood in One Piece.
Suicide. Well, I mean, there's like blood, like coughs and stuff. I would argue that there really isn't that much blood overall in One Piece compared to, I don't know. I can't even think of anything to compare it to that's like Western or something. Like when Zoro cuts people, generally speaking, you get like a blood splatter, but they like aren't.
It's never much. Like an open wound. They don't show things like that. But like profuse bleeding is quite common in shonen.
I mean, I agree. And, you know, even if things are popular or common in, like, Japanese media or shonen in general, it is still different. Like, what would Oda want for One Piece specifically, which has its own tonal style and its own, you know, standards for what it would want. So, I don't know. We're just speculating about all this stuff, but we'll see. There, you can consider that as much as you like at home, people. We'll see who and what turns out to be correct. So, so they're ordered to go get Master Yamato, but it's going to be difficult to find. So they'll need to use all their brain power, all their 2 brain cells. Hopefully will collide to allow it to happen.
So if they can bring him back unharmed, which is what they say, I don't know whether that means he's easily hurt or whether they'll have to fight him to get him back, which means he might be really strong.
Yeah, that's a good question.
But they bring him back. He'll give one of them the right to nominate any of the All-Stars to challenge... Wait... Any of the All-Stars to challenge...
I think this is phrased right. Like, nominate one of the All-Stars to be challenged for their title. So, like, let's nominate King, because we're going to challenge him for the title of King, or something like that. Yeah.
And then Jack's there
And,
as well. I didn't notice
right.
Jack was there, but I did go back and...
Oh, the furtive Jax. So easily forgotten. But there he is. There he is. Looking good. Silly hairstyle. But I like that Kaido here says, like, oh, you guys wouldn't mind at all. And there is no hesitation. The All-Stars are like, we are happy and willing to defend our title at any time. And you know what? I should have said before, because it's stated just above this. But, like, so first of all, they do clarify, like, the nature of the Flying Six, at least. And they are headliners who were all 6 former pirate captains of their own crews. So we already knew that D.A. Drake was in that boat, obviously. And so he and the rest of these guys had their own pirate crews that were absorbed into this. And so it makes sense they would be, like, prominent figures, perhaps, if they were, like, strong contenders. Feel bad for Basil Hawkins, because he was one, too, and is just not not important enough to be in here, I guess. Fair enough.
Yeah,
fair
he's
enough.
just
He's
he's not epic enough, I guess.
He's not very epic. He's low key. He doesn't seem like he has a ton of ambition.
We haven't seen him, by the way. I don't know where he is.
Yeah, I bet he'll probably show up somewhere, just fighting alongside. But he's kind of not that important. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. I feel like he already got his moment, just fighting Zoro and Luffy, like at the beginning of the arc. I don't know. And he did get cucked by Law, I believe, earlier when Law was escaping, or whoever that was. I don't remember. You know what? Because we theorized that it was Drake, in theory, who would have released Law once we found out that he's actually a Marine operating as like a sleeper agent or whatever, and not a sleeper agent, but like an undercover agent or whatever for the Marines. And so he could have freed Law to undermine Kaido as part of like this larger plan. Again, we still don't know that, but it would make sense. And by the way, I wanted to say about this. Remember last week or last chapter, or whatever, when they said that like, for some reason, D.A. Drake was, like, the next guy in line, and it was unclear why. Well, at least now we know that, like, all these guys were former captains of other crews. So, like, they're all kind of outsiders. I mean, presumably some have been here longer than Drake, but they're all outsiders. And also, for the record, let's not forget that when it comes to the card suits, or the card ordering or whatever, that this crew is based on, you have King, Queen, Jack. What comes after Jack? Oh, that's right.
DS.
It's 10, baby. It's 10. DS is his name. Holy shit. Oda does it again. Killing it. Was that intentional? I don't know.
I feel like it could easily have been intentional because pretty soon after the time skip, we got like a brief look at what the other people of the worst generation were doing, and D8 Drake was said to have been like looking for Kaido. So he was linked to Kaido way back then. He was probably like...
You know, I'm inclined to think that Oda planned that. And you see, this is one of those moments where it's not crazy to be like, oh, Oda, you really did do a cool thing there, probably. So yeah, just have a little bit of, what's the word?
Credit where credit's
incredulity. Yes, right. Give Oda credit when it's due, but not when it's not due, ladies and gentlemen. Just gushing endless praise, I would argue, cheapens praise at moments like this. It does not just make the series better. You just gush endlessly about fan theories that may or may not be true. Okay, there's a PSA out of the way. And all
right, so last thing that happens...
One last point I was going to say was just that it's interesting to note that in this crew specifically, in Big Mom's crew, her kids just like get titles, but in this crew, it seems to be very much a strength-based meritocracy. So presumably, King like really is the strongest guy in the crew and like fought his way there, and presumably Jack and Queen did so as well. Maybe Queen did with some like technology, trickery, Usopp tech kind of bullshit, but who knows? So that's cool flavor, and it makes me like the Beast Pirates. I am feeling myself getting immersed in the Beast Pirates like lore and the atmosphere of their crew, and I find it hard not to respect it on a certain degree, which is exactly what I would hope to feel at when we get to this kind of point in the series. So, okay, great. That's it. Sorry.
Yeah, so the last thing that happens in the chapter is the big hall where Queen is dancing still, screaming funk funk.
Yeah, there he goes.
Luffy is here, and he's standing on a guy's head, it looks like. And he's just
sure
like completely out in the open, although he is in his disguise. So people are, they're all drunk and rowdy, and they're like, "Hey, wait a minute, hey, do I know you?" And it's
you
just
look
like
a little familiar there, sir.
And Luffy's seen all the food, and it's like, "Haha, wow, food."
Yep.
He gets hit. He gets hit in the head by a red bean soup, though, thrown away because it's like extra, and it's like, I don't like this soup, just throw it away, waste it. So comically waste this food, lol, and let's laugh about how people back in Wano are starving. Lamau.
Yep. That's the feel. That feel when you think about food.
Yeah.
Luffy's always appreciated food.
And so this is Luffy getting real mad, remembering how much all the people of Wano suffered, specifically girl I forget the name of.
Oh god, Otama. That's Otama.
Otama, yes.
Yes.
So he's like, he does a big, like, I can't believe you would fucking say that, enraged time.
He does a big angry, indeed he does. First of all, I love this scene, as just like Luffy, being Luffy, just out and about, and those disguises just allowed them to blend in, which Luffy obviously would have been spotted very, very quickly, but they're just a dumb crew.
Yeah.
Like, this would not happen with Big Mom's crew. They would know, because they have their shit together a little bit better, but it does work just great with this bunch of drunkards and buffoons. Which is cool.
It's pretty rowdy. I would like to draw your attention to the fact that Luffy has red bean soup on his head.
Yeah.
That's probably water. That probably counts as getting wet. That probably counts as him and his costume disappearing.
Oda, you've done it. I don't want to see this boy stretching, Oda. No, not even a little bit.
No, stretching.
We know that he can still stretch, but he should be powered down. He should be losing power.
No, Nate, you missed what I was saying.
Did I?
Kinemon's power gives you the clothes, right? And you can't get them wet or get them cut, because then they'll disappear. I think that's the rule, right?
Okay, well, I know that if you take them off, he said they would definitely disappear. I believe you that if they get fucked up, they would disappear. I don't think it's been specifically stated if they get wet, they would necessarily disappear, though.
Maybe I was mistaken.
Maybe.
But I feel like that was a thing. Maybe I'm wrong. But like, if it is a thing, then all hell is about to break loose, because Luffy is not going to have a disguise for a few more seconds.
I don't think that's where Oda is going with this in this particular instance. And also, I suppose we can give Oda a little wiggle room based on the quantity of red bean soup, which there isn't a ton that's on him. And also, well, it's not actually Watergate, it's red bean soup, you see. There's no... actually, you get stronger as a Devil Fruit user if you're immersed in red bean soup. This is lore that has been established clearly in an SBS that only Oda released to me personally. That is like the opposite of the sea, red bean soup. So you actually get stronger when you touch red bean soup. So actually, Luffy's about to go Gear 5th Monkey God mode based on red bean abilities.
I'm looking up Kinemon's Devil Fruit, because I don't want to be wrong on this. So give me a second.
Sure. I believe it's the Fuku Fuku no Mi. More like the fuck you fuck. I mean, I've said that before, but it is hilarious. I'm Googling it too. Strengths and weaknesses. It's going to say, the standard Devil Fruit usages. The clothes do not appear to be permanent and only last as long as they are worn. Furthermore, he must visualize the appearance of the clothes, blah, blah, blah. Well, except when he makes that big gate, which is his ultimate technique. Well, I certainly don't see anything that specifically says...
Okay,
I mean, this is the wiki,
wrong.
so...
I guess I was just associating, like, getting wet as Devil Fruit with Devil Fruit power. But I feel like that would be, like, really, like, an exactly the sort of Oda thing to do, where Luffy gets into, like, right in the middle of everything, and then, everyone looks around, and there he is, the Straw Hat Luffy. What the fuck's going on? How did he get here? All hell breaks loose, and he's the first one to do it, and, he probably has to fight his way out and start running, and, like, there might be even, like, a real battle happening immediately. That's the sort of, like, the thing that you don't expect to happen, but has the potential to happen because it's Luffy, for Oda to write. Sure. And even if the red bean soup has no effect, which it doesn't, he is really angry, so he might just start fighting himself.
That's certainly something that Luffy has been known to do. Just start raging and let his gamer, feels out, even when he knows he should not do that. So yeah, that certainly could happen. Will Luffy have the self-control to last even one fucking second longer? I don't know. I just don't know. We'll see. Yeah. And I guess that's it. That's the end of the thread. Unless there's more to say. I don't think I have any more.
No, we talked quite a lot.
We did. I mean, we certainly went in depth on various aspects here. I'm actually hoping, because I really like this little idea of Luffy like lost among the giant hordes of the beast pirates. I would love to just get some stuff where he doesn't reveal himself, but he just parties around with them at least a little bit, just to get some funny Luffy moments out of it, if nothing else.
It would definitely be a step in the more mature direction for Luffy as a person who's an adult now, where he is able to restrain himself tactically in this situation rather than just angrily attacking Queen right now.
Sure, but see, I don't actually think Oda is going to go for the angle of like, I will show Luffy control himself and not do something. I think that is against like Oda's general idea of like how to handle Luffy as a character. I think he's just that kind of guy and always will be, basically. At least as long as like One Piece goes. Maybe like once it fucking ends or something, it might change. But like I think what would happen. My fucking fanfic right now will be like the next event that happens in Luffy's life is that sure he saw someone kick over thing. He will like be distracted by food and will just go do that for a bit and eat while he forgets that this bad thing happened. And then later he'll think back to this and be like, oh shit, right, I got to kill these guys for being bad boys. I don't know. We'll just see. That's a very intense stare Luffy's doing, though. He might just not be able to restrain himself from just dunking on all of these fools.
Yeah, I suppose more likely is that he gets, like, his anger gets distracted by something, like somebody bumps into him and he just, he doesn't have time to sort of, like, beat the shit out of them. Maybe he uses Conqueror's Haki just a little bit, gets
which he can do. He can do that.
Knocks one of them out and just, runs around. Like, I need to...
it kind of depends on... because I don't really know where Oda is going specifically with the fact that, like, the raid has not yet been discovered. I'm not sure exactly what Oda's intending to do. Obviously, we can't know, but it'll depend on what his plans are. Like, does he intend for them to get, like, all the way inside and be, like, right up on Kaido before it's revealed? Or, just at some point during the raid, will all of a sudden, like, a warning goes out. They're like, oh my god, we're being invaded, and then, like, battle just begins.
I think that's, like, almost certain to happen. You can't have a raid like this go so well. And if the important thing right now is that everybody is like separated in little groups, they need to get separated for a long time so that they're not all on screen at the same time, like not all in one panel and jostling for the spotlight. So they're gonna have like their individual battles all over the island. And so
I think so,
like very soon the raid is going to be discovered and the alarms are going to be raised. And people are going to start fighting wherever they are.
Yeah. Well, the thing I'm most looking for... Oh, actually, you know what? I just remembered. I had one other idea as to what the big announcement that Kaido had might be. All that stuff about suicide, it's a bit iffy. Maybe it would happen. Could be cool. I think what's more likely is that, like... Because it makes you wonder why it was brought up in the first place. Like, all the history of Big Mom and Kaido and all the other stuff we learned about him recently. Like what that is building to. And I'll just say that this could be the time. It would make sense if perhaps this big announcement is what if Kaido were to announce, like, the revival of not just him and Big Mom, but beyond that, the Rocks Pirates. Like, and I don't know what that would mean, but obviously the Rocks Pirates were brought up recently for a reason. Like, something's going to come of that at some point. Maybe now will be that time, and Kaido will announce, like, we're doing something here, me and Big Mom, but we're gonna go and, like, we have, like, a new plan. We're going to go do Rock's pirate-y thing, find fucking Laugh Tale, blah, blah, blah.
I feel like that would be rolled into the Big Mom Kaido alliance announcement, because I don't know. I don't see how, like, his son Yamato specifically has to do with the Rock's pirates.
Good point. Just here's one idea. Remember when in Avatar, The Last Airbender, my boy Ozai said, I'm going to go be Phoenix Lord, but you can stay here and be Pissy Baby Fire Lord of the Fire Nation while I rule the whole world, Azula. Maybe, just theoretically, maybe, like, Yamato's going to be in charge of Wano while I go and, take over the world with Rock's Pirates things. Maybe I'm getting a little bit, more unlikely with an idea like that, but, just putting it out there into the universe.
It could happen.
Speaking my
the
truth.
Rocks Pirates initiative, like, Kaido has been building weapons and whatever, and Big Mom has just been sitting around eating food. Neither of them, like, has been actively gunning for the title of Pirate King for a while, and maybe this Rocks Pirates is, like, let's do it. Let's just do it right now.
See, because that's the thing. Like, surely some tangible thing in the story should come of something as big a deal as two of the Yonko forming an alliance, which is a huge deal. And the fact that they both were part of the Rocks Pirates, I mean, maybe that could be relevant, maybe not. But, like, something should come of that tangibly. Maybe the only thing that Oda even wanted to come of that was just, so that in this arc, Luffy could fight, like, Big Mom and Kaido. Okay, maybe. Maybe that's true. But the fact that we got all that backstory about the Rocks Pirates recently, and it involved those guys and these, legendary figures, it leads me to believe that there's going to be things involving that, since these guys were, like, prominent figures of that age and involved in that. So, and I feel like the timing is right for, like, during every big battle in One Piece, generally speaking, there's, like, some sort of crazy reveal that happens during it. Like, I don't know, during the final war in Alabasta, that's when we find out about, like, the poneglyphs in general, and all that stuff happens, like, right before Luffy defeats Crocodile and all that stuff. I don't know. Water 7, like, in Ennie's lobby, right before the final battle, we see Robin's backstory. We get tons of information about the world history, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, during the Big Mom thing, we learned Big Mom's history and all that.
We learned that Ace was Gold Roger's son.
Right, absolutely, absolutely. So I feel like the time is ripe. Since, like, the dam is about to burst on this raid, it might be just the right time with this very big lampshaded announcement for something not just, like, big for Kaido personally, but maybe more largely plot relevant could dawn on us in a very short order, maybe a chapter or two from now. But who can say? And I would just say that, like, if Oda is doing this thing with Luffy, where Luffy is so pissed about this red bean soup and how, they're wasting it, they're shitting on the poor people, and that he loses it and, just starts fighting and, like, is revealed maybe very soon, maybe right as the announcement happens, then I could see, like, all that stuff happening very quickly. Otherwise, maybe it'll take a couple more chapters before we get there. I don't know. We will just have to see, and luckily it does look like... Oh, no, I read it wrong. There's a break. There's a break next week. Ooh, big cringe, Oda. Maybe do your job sometime? Maybe draw and write One Piece, please?
Hey, I've been drawing at a rate of one chapter per week, my Lord of Ghosts comic. Piece? And I can tell you, your hand gets hurty after a few days.
I believe it. I believe it.
I need to do all those funny stretches.
Oh, right. All the epic yoga moves and the pirouettes.
The yoga moves, but for your fingers. Like, literally.
There's probably yoga stuff. In the Final Fantasy VII Remake, there is a hand massage parlor specifically. And fucking our boy Cloud gets a hand massage. It's plot relevant, kind of. Or at least you have to do it. So get one of those. Play the remake and experience hand pleasure. That's all I've got. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done as well.
Full of things said about this chapter. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's been 979. Chapter name was, I'm just trying to remember, Family Matters, my favorite show, Urkel. Family Problems. Thank you, Oda, for another fun chapter. Hey, join the Discord and support us. First, you can join the Discord for free down below and talk about One Piece. Very active One Piece Discord. And support us, join the crew, with our Patreon pledge at patreon.com/thepottycast. Pirates like poop pottycast. Oh, remember that, boys? You were bringing it back.
Instead of all of that, go to Gibbontake.site and read a real shonen manga that I'm drawing, I'm writing. It's called The Lord of Ghosts. It's really cool.
Excellent.
It's inspired a lot by One Piece. You may notice. With the action.
It is great, and I'm all caught up, so I could do a Gibby cast about that chapter, and just fucking suck a fuck.
It'd be like the Lord D of Ghosts.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Chapter 6 will be out pretty soon, probably after.
Wait a minute, Chapter 5 is out.
Chapter 5.
I think I missed that one. Shit. Okay, I'll have to go double check. Wait, is that the one? When I last saw, Flowerhead was about to duel Hippo. That's the last thing I saw. Was that end of chapter 4 or end of chapter 5?
I think didn't you read the one where they do the actual fight? Because you saw.
No, I didn't. I fucking missed it. I guess I haven't read it yet.
Oh.
Shit. Well, there you go. There's a flower boy, and he fights some people, and that's pretty sick. It's legitimately great though. So yeah, go read it. And also, I make videos sometimes. Go watch, first of all, the One Piece lecture from RadCon 4. But also other videos, blah, 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 fun stuff. Fun times on Best Guy Ever on YouTube. Yeah, hey, you know, my YouTube URL, ever since I got hacked and got the channel back, Best Guy Ever Show is gone. But then, for some reason, just youtube.com/bestguyever was available. So now I just have that, which is what I originally wanted. So thank you, Brad, for stealing my channel. It all worked out. Thanks very much. All right, that's it. Oh, and also you can follow our updates and whatnot things on our Twitter at what is it? Podcast Ahoy on Twitter. That's the one. So links to all those things, especially the Patreon. Pay us money to make the show. Links in the description down below. And thanks, Oda. Thanks, everybody. We will see you in 2 weeks, give or take, with another one of these. Goodbye.
Goodbye.